But yeah, no, okay. I believe in you. Thanks, Bree. I thank you. Thanks. Prima donna girl. Hey friends, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this look here. It's kind of a winter going out look. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call it yet, but we'll go with that for now. So you can see it's got the really bold lip, some winged liner and some lashes. A lot of lashes. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Goonie for requesting this look. I hope you guys enjoy it. Bye! Okay, so to start off with, we are using the Mecca Fresh Faced Hydrating Primer. This primer feels so good on the skin. It makes my skin feel fresh and hydrated, as the name suggests. And it also gives the foundation that you layer on top of it a really nice, like, dewy, natural look. So do recommend this for dry skin girls. It's really good. And I'm just going to work that all over the face using a paddle brush. Also, as this is a full face tutorial, it is going to be a bit of a long video, so strap yourself in, grab some wine or some popcorn or your snack of choice, because we are going to do the whole 9 yards today. Okay, now to conceal all those dark circles, I am using the Benefit Erase Paste in Fair. I've also put in the bottom bar below a bunch of more budget-friendly alternatives to every high-end product that I use in the video. So check that out if you're looking to save a few pennies. And look, who isn't really? Now I am taking the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer in Light 18. And I'm just going to use that to conceal any blemishes that have come up and any scarring along the cheeks and the jawline. I also like to use my finger for this because I know that I can sanitize it just beforehand, but you can also use a brush as long as they're clean. Depends what kind of blending out you feel like you can do best, whether that's with a brush or with your finger. I prefer finger, but you can go either way. Now I'm taking the Anastasia Brow Definer in Soft Brown. As you can see, I start by working it upwards and then draw it along the line of the brow, following the grain of the hairs. I really like the Brow Definer. It's the same formula as her previous brow pencils, the Brow Wizzers, but it's in like a little triangle shape, which makes this super easy to do. Not because I'm really that deserving of it. Living life like I'm in a play. In the limelight I want to stay. And after a casual dance break, I'm going to go in and brush the product through with a spoolie, which is basically just a mascara brush, which you can buy from chemists, but most good brow products will come with them on the other end as well. And because I want to give a little bit of extra definition and drama to the brows today, I'm going to go over them with the L'Oreal Paris Brow Artist Plumper in Dark Brunette. This is a gel fibrous formula, so it plumps the brows as well as giving them some hold, which will just give the face a little bit of extra structure by having a really bold brow. Now I'm going to take the TooFaced Born This Way foundation and I'm going to work that all over the face using a flat top brush from Morphe. This is such a natural foundation. Like, Born This Way is not kidding. It gives such a great natural finish. And now that my foundation is laid down, I'm going to start on the eyes. First off, I'm going to take Salted Caramel from the TooFaced Chocolate Bar palette. And I'm going to take a large fluffy brush and just work that all through the crease. As you can see, I work in kind of circular windshield wiper motions to lay down the colour as a transition shade, which means that all the other colours that go on top of it will blend more seamlessly. Next up, I am taking Puree from the TooFaced Sweet Peach palette, which smells like peaches. It's delicious. I cannot rave enough about this palette. And I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush and work that more deeply into the crease. This provides the eye with more structure and makes them look more defined. Next, I am taking Peaches and Cream from the TooFaced Sweet Peach palette again. and I'm just going to pack that all over the eyelid. I'm keeping the eyes quite matte in this look, just because that's what I felt like doing. So here we are. And then I'm just going to take the big fluffy brush I used before and just re-blend that all together to make sure there's no harsh lines. Now using the same brush that I used for Puree, I am taking Summer Yum, again from the TooFaced Sweet Peach palette, and just adding that on the corners of the eye, so the outer V area, to create some transitions. And now I'm going to take a very small fluffy brush, and Charmed I'm Sure from the Sweet Peach palette, and work that into the outer edge of the crease to add some drama and start adding some dimension to the eye. For this I'm going to use really small circular motions so I can keep control about where that dark colour goes. And now that there's slightly less product on the brush, I'm going to start working it in towards the inner corner of the eye. And using our trusty blending brush, we're going to go back through and blend it again. Now taking Summer Yum, again from the Sweet Peach palette, I'm just going to add a little bit more of that product in towards the centre of the eyelid, just because I wanted to add some more contrast. Now, taking an even smaller pencil brush and Java from the It Cosmetics palette. It Cosmetics Naturally that was a mess. From the Naturally Pretty palette by It Cosmetics. I'm just going to add that just on the outer edge of the eyes and then blend it again all together. If only I could blend at this speed in real life. So after I've done this blending, I'm going to take a big clean fluffy brush and just go over everything again to make sure there are no harsh lines. And then taking Peaches and Cream, I'm just going to put that on the inner corner of the eye to create a little bit more contrast and brighten that area up. Now comes the real fun. I'm taking the NYC liquid eyeliner and I'm going to do a winged eyeliner look. So what I do is I start by drawing a line from the corner of my eye to the corner of my brow. Not all the way, obviously, but like I'll use that as the guide, the corner of the eye and the corner of the brow. And I'll just go back and forth with this little brush until I get it to a shape and a length that I want. Then I'll go back in towards the center of the eye and join the two lines up. And it's just a matter of going back and forth until you're happy with how it looks. Most liquid liners will come with an applicator, whether that be a brush tip or a felt tip applicator. That works pretty good as well if you just want to use that. I prefer to use this brush just because I feel like I get more control with it, because it's a little bit smaller than most liquid eyeliner applicators. I feel like the key thing to remember with liquid eyeliner is that it can smell fear. So just take your time, take it slow, and if you make a mistake, don't panic. So I just made a mistake there. I was like, oh, this is not for me. Tried to fix it up a little bit with the brush, still wasn't happening. So I just took some eye makeup remover. I used the Garnier Micellar Water and a Q-tip. And I'm just going to go in and neaten that up using the Q-tip. So just take your time. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. It's just makeup, so you can go back and redo it. Yeah, and just take your time is what I'm saying here. Just enjoy the process. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Now I'm going to take the brush that had Java on it with no additional product and just dab that back in the outer corner of the eyes to get back some of that contrast that got lost through the eyeliner process. And then, because I wanted to draw the eyeliner further down towards the inner tear duct, I'm just going to add that in now. Moving on from that ordeal, I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me concealers in Fair and in Sand, and I'm just going to highlight underneath my eyes and down the center of the face. The key with highlighting is to just go with the areas that the sun would naturally hit. So some people have described it as a triangle in the center of the face. So the triangle with the base coming across the top of your eyebrows and going down to the chin. Those are the areas you want to keep light. I'll usually initially start blending with my finger just to get the product to begin blending, and then I'll blend the rest out with a brush. Usually the same foundation brush that I used before. To set this concealer, I'm going to be using a method called baking, which basically refers to using a lot of powder. I'm going to pack that on underneath the eyes, and I'm just going to leave that. Like, there's going to be excess powder sitting on top there, but I'm just going to leave it for a while I do other parts of my makeup, as this increases the set, so it'll last longer, but it also blends more nicely in general. And to do that, I use the RCMA No Color Powder, which is phenomenal, and like $25 for like a billion times the amount of product, so that's a really good one to get on. And then I'm going to contour using the NARS Laguna bronzer, which is a really like worth investing in bronzer, I think, because you can use it to contour and just to bronze the skin in general. But I'm taking a flat thin brush and I draw a line from the top of my ear down to where the corner of my mouth would be. But I don't bring it in any further than the edge of my eye, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to blend that line upwards. Don't blend it downwards, but blend it upwards to create that really strong contour. And then I am going to bronze up the forehead just so it all looks balanced and doesn't look like I've got one part of shadow on my face and no other shadow at all. And because my face is quite long, I'm also going to do some quite strong contouring on my jawline, where I'm just going to drag the product down underneath my jaw and put a little bit more product just directly underneath the chin. Now, taking the RCMA No Color Powder again, and a dense flat top brush, I'm going to sharpen up that contour by baking underneath it. So, doing the same method that I did underneath the eyes, I'm going to get a lot of product and just kind of stamp it along that line I was talking about before, from the jaw, not from the jaw, I'm lying, from the top of the ear to the corner of the mouth. And I'm just going to leave that while I do my blusher. For blush, I am using a combination of Makeup Geek's Spellbound and, what is the other one I'm using? Romance, yes. And I'm going to use a stippling brush, which is that dual fiber brush with the longer hairs coming out, so I can make sure that the blush is nice and light. I start with Spellbound and I use that all along the cheek, and then I'm going to take Romance and buff that over the top to give it that glow. Spellbound is a matte blush and it's really great tone of pink that goes with everything. And then Romance has a sheen to it, a gold undertone, which just gives that glow. And now using a clean, large, fluffy brush, I'm going to go back and buff away all of the powder that I had left to set and bake. So I'm just going to sweep it underneath my eyes, sweep it along the bottom of the cheekbone, and then just buff it all out. And now for the under eyes, I'm going to take Java on the pencil brush and Summer Yum on that big fluffy brush, and just buff them both along the lower lash line. I don't want to make it too dramatic, but I do want to give them some definition. So after doing that, I'm going to take a large clean fluffy brush and just buff it out so it doesn't look harsh but blended. To highlight the eyes, I'm going to take White Peach and Nectar from the Naturally Pretty palette and a larger flat fluffy brush. I'm just going to dab that in the center of the eyes. Center of the eyes? No, the inner tear duct. And then I'm going to take that up all the way inside the side of the nose to the brow bone, because I want that area to be really light and lifted in contrast with the dark outer edges. And then I'm going to run a little bit of those colours underneath my brow bone as well, to highlight that area. Next up, I am taking the Better Than Sex mascara by TooFaced. I'm just going to give my lashes a quick coat of that on the top and bottom lashes, and then I'm going to go in with some false lashes. A great alternative to the Better Than Sex mascara is Rimmel's Scandalise mascara. I've listed the details below for that. So the lashes I'm going to use today are the 213 Harley lashes by Red Cherry Lashes. And what I've done there is I've popped on some lash glue and I'm just shaking it out to make it tacky. If you apply it directly to the eye after putting the glue on the lashes, it won't be sticky enough and it won't hold. So make sure you give it a good wave around first. And then take a deep breath and prepare yourself to put on lashes. The way I like to do it is I like to place them on my eye using my fingers, and then I'll use tweezers on the inner corner and outer corner to more accurately place them, so just wiggle them around till they're where I want them, and to hold them in place until the glue is dry. So I start on the inner corner, and then I move to the outer corner, and then I do the center of the eye. And I think the key, again, like with liquid liner, is just patience, and try and avoid poking yourself in the eye, like I just did. Then I'm going to go back over the lash line with the liquid eyeliner to blend the lash band in with my eyes, just to make it look a little bit more blended and natural and to cover up any spots where the glue might be showing. For my highlight today, I'm going to be going back to the TooFaced Sweet Peach Eyeshadow Palette, and I'm going to use Luscious and Nectar. The beauty of makeup is that you can use it really for whatever you want. So I'm going to use these eyeshadows as my cheek highlight today. I am in love with Luscious in particular. It just gives a really beautiful sheen to the skin, which I am all about, girl. And then after this dance break, I'm going to go in and highlight my Cupid's bow as well as my cheekbones, as I'm going to be going in with some quite dark lipstick, so I just want to emphasize the contours of the lips before I do that. First, I'm going to go in with Dose of Colours liquid lipstick in Berry Me. It's a beautiful, wintry, berry-toned liquid lipstick. And the reason I'm using this first is because it has really great lasting power. So even if the second lipstick that I put on wears off, particularly in the center of the lip, where lipsticks tend to wear off first, it won't ruin the effect of the lipstick. This is also just a really nice formula. Like, I really like the Dose of Colours formula. It doesn't dry my lips out, and it feels pretty good going on, so I'm all about that one. Because I wanted my lips to also have a bit more of a reddish tone, I'm going to go in now with the NARS Audacious lipstick in Audrey. This is hands down my favourite lipstick formula of all time. It's a pretty pricey one. The Audacious lipsticks run for I think about $44 to $48, but they are phenomenal. Like, they cannot be beaten. And this colour in particular is my favourite. And so to finish off this look, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I'm just going to give myself a good old bath in that. This will help my makeup last longer, but also blends it all together. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it / found it helpful. And check back next week for my next video. It'll be up on Friday. I hope you have a beautiful week. Bye! Hey friends! Hey friends! Today's video is just going to be... don't like that either. Nailing it!